welcome to another week of CrossTalk. CrossTalk, baby. Uh, welcome. We're glad you decided to join us today. I am Minister Stebo, and we are ready for another week of, like I said, CrossTalk. Welcome to CrossTalk, where we give you our take on subject matter that affects us in the spiritual realm as well as the physical realm. And we also talk scripture. It's all about Christ here. Again, welcome to CrossTalk Internet Radio Show. I'm your host, Minister Stebo II. Shout out to my partners in Christ who aren't able to be here tonight. It's Minister Dukes and, of course, none other than the Bishop. Shout out to you guys. They're in a meeting for at church tonight. Yeah. Make sure you stop right now and share the show. Click those likes and hearts like crazy to get us trending on this so that CrossTalk will pop up on people's timelines and trigger that Facebook algorithm. Don't be shy, don't be stingy, and don't be cruel. All right? So, as you can see, our topic of discussion is going to be about celibacy. I was watching I saw a video on Facebook of Kevin Samuels advising, and I use that term loosely, advising a 37-year-old mother of two that has chosen celibacy, and she's out of her mind and should be giving it away in order to secure a man. Man, that is by far the craziest thing that I've ever heard in my life. No, don't. Of course, you guys know what the resolve is going to be. No, that is not the answer. No, you should not just be quote unquote giving it away. No, that's not good at all. All right. So and don't look at this as me bashing anybody. I'm not bashing Kevin Samuels. I'm not bashing anyone, but really, how ignorant of a statement is that? And to be honest, it's time that we as saints stop promoting and perpetuating that kind of stupidity. You know, let me make sure I'm. Yeah, there we go. But and that's what it is, stupidity. I'm not sorry. I'm not going to say sorry for calling it stupidity. I started to say, I'm sorry for saying, stupidity, but it's stupidity, and I'm not sorry for saying that. I'm not sorry for calling that out. We have to be, we as Christians have to be at least different, a little different from them, you know. Um, uh, if not, if we're not different, then what's the point of us? What's the purpose of us being labeled sanctified, which means set apart, holy, consecrate? You know, and I'm not calling for the saints to be so heavenly focused that we're no earthly good. But I mean, come on, man, come on. And to be honest, this really made me sad for our younger generation more than it made me mad at Kevin Samuels, um, because we have to be careful about the content that we put out for the sake of shock value, likes, um, follows, etc. Because we are teaching a nation under us, a nation that at this point, at this present point, it's sad to say, but they're better at twerking than spelling, comprehensive reading, analysis, math. You know, and I don't know if that's a concern for anyone else outside of me, but we should be concerned. This should make us borderline upset, you know. But let's go into breaking down this conversation. So, she said this, and according to the video, I watched the video. She said, "I'm 37 years old. I've been celibate for 2 years." And at that point, he stops her and says, "Where'd that come from?" She says, "Well, I just wanted to know if that's the reason why." Basically, she wanted to know if her being celibate was the reason why she couldn't find, or she couldn't land a good man. Initially, I thought he was going to go like a totally different way with it. I promise. I thought he was going to say something like, it doesn't matter that you're celibate or not. It doesn't matter, that you've chosen this route. You just have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to when your man finds you. You have to be prepared to become what he needs. A helper comparable to him. That's what the Bible says. But I was expecting him to say something like that. Instead, this man says, "What's the philosophy here? You're not a virgin. You've had two people come out of you." Then he says, "That's to say you already have two kids." What did no? I'm not going to jump ahead, but he says a few other things that I won't repeat on here. But if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. If not, after the show, go watch the video, and you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But he goes on and says, "So you're going to meet a good man. You think he's going to be celibate until you're married, until the both of you get married?" And rightfully so, she says, "Yes, yes." And I'm going to stop right here. This is where our women have to be have to be rooted and grounded and know that this is what I should expect. Why shouldn't I expect this? Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I expect for a man, my man, to wait on me? To wait? Am I worth waiting for? Yes, you should. You should be able to feel that way. You should feel that way. And he, in so many words, says that she's out of her mind and that he wished he would meet somebody almost 40 with two kids and celibate. And we'll get into that too. That he thinks it's his opinion that she ought to be trying to just give it away. Come on, man. Come on, man. Is this where we've gotten? Is this where we've gotten as a people to if to where we're giving this kind of advice. And if you know Kevin Samuels, he comes off as a very intelligent man. And some of his content, if you've ever seen it, some of his content, although it's a little abrasive at times, he has a few gems tucked in there amidst the humor and the shock value. You know, he's a very intelligent man. But this is way off. And I'll go into why. But this is why we as Christians, and not just women, but we as Christian men, Christian women, Christian boys, girls, this is why we have to know why we believe what we believe. Because there are people like Kevin Samuels that can make things sound really good, very aesthetically pleasing. It can make it sound of popular belief. But we have to be wise. Bible tells us to be wise. You know, number one, obviously, this lady is a grown woman who's more than likely tired of the dead end relationships, uh, and is coming to a man who she feels is knowledgeable, incredible, with a degree of wisdom. Probably, like me, have seen some of his videos in the past and was impressed enough to take a shot and ask him a question, uh, which ends up being a huge mistake. A huge mistake. I don't know if Kevin Samuels was off his game, or if he, felt if he's been hurt, if he had been hurt or something like that. Hey, Minister White. But this is way off, way off. This is way off, and, and so just because someone has a huge following, and this is where our our culture gets swallowed up, because somebody has a huge following, they must be doing it right. They must be right, because everybody's following this person. And right now we'll just take a small detour and do some pay a couple of bills, as they say. But who's that? Okay. Yeah, we pay a couple of bills. Um, if you haven't already, make sure you stop by the Fish House. Hang out on the corner of Natural Bridge and Jenner Station Road for some really good fish and seafood. Get by the Fish House and sample some of that awesome menu. Tell Tammy and Jerry that the good folks at LMBC/LMBC.TV sent you. You probably won't get any free food, but you'll get some good food. Also, make sure you slide in the DM of Made by God, Brother Stewart. He get you a couple of T-shirts ordered. Made by God shirts by Brother Stewart. You can find them on Instagram at madebygod._. That's madebygod._. On Instagram. You can also find them on Facebook at Stuart Thompson. Stuart. Wait. Stuart Thompson. Thompson. Good stuff there. Proud of my brother. Doing a great job with those T-shirts. Let me put myself on mute. All right. So back to back to what I'm saying. Um, yeah, she decides to to take her question to this popular man, Kevin Samuels. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Kevin Samuels video. He had a young lady on uh, his show, and she had a question about her choice of celibacy, and is it the reason why she can't land a good man? Okay, the basis of his answer is she's too old to be celibate, and she should be trying to give it away. Like I said, spoiler alert, that is not the answer. That's so much of a bad answer that is pitiful. It's pitiful. It's what it is. So she brings up a very, very, very good question. Is the fact that she's celibate the reason she's having a difficult time landing a man? Short answer, like I said, no. But he immediately starts digging into her and attacking her decision to be celibate. And this is coming from a man that is on numerous occasions backed women, and don't get me wrong, he is not a woman basher. He's not a quote unquote bad person or whatever. But this is horrible advice. This is horrible advice. And for what it seems, just for likes and shock value. Which is a horrible way to promote what he's trying to promote. So this is coming from someone that has advocated for women to be the decision maker on their bodies and all this kind of stuff. And he says basically, you're out of your mind because of a decision that you made in regards to your body, in regards to how you want to secure a relationship, right? But he says you're out of your mind, and he says that she shouldn't be celibate at this age, as if sex is the way to secure a man. And I know there are women out here that are on here that what's up, Miss Vonzella and Miss Peggy? Welcome to the show. I know there are women out here that can testify that sex isn't the way or a way to secure a man. There are men out here that are watching that can tell you, hey, sex is not the way to secure a woman, because against popular belief, women aren't the only ones that are ready for a relationship, that are ready for a good and fruitful relationship. They're not the only ones. And sex isn't the way to do it. No shade. She's got 2 kids already. She's already got 2 kids. So getting a man isn't her problem, Kevin Samuels. Getting a man is not her problem. She's already proved that she can get a man. Like I said, she's got 2 kids. So obviously she has history We're getting the man because, as he noted, she has 2 kids. So celibacy is not the problem. Celibacy is not the problem. And giving it away isn't the solution. It is not the solution. There, there. If we want to be real, which we claim to be on this show, since we are being real, let me say it like that. Since we're keeping it 100, there are very few women in the world who have a problem securing a man. The issue is less about getting a man than it is about getting the man or securing the man. Right, 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 Minister Joe. And you digging right into my point. It's following God's plan for the right man. So just to get a man, if that was her goal, Mr. Samuels, she wouldn't have needed to come to you. She wouldn't have felt like she had to come get a male's perspective on just getting a man, settling for a man. I don't need you for that, so to speak. What I'm asking you about goes further and deeper than just getting a man. Obviously, what I'm trying to do is stop it from going from single with 2 kids to single with 3 kids. You know? And that makes a whole lot of sense. Personally, look, I got 3 kids right now. And before we go any further, shout out to my daughter London. I just spoke to her for the first time in 3 years. Sheesh. But man, that did my heart well. But I'll talk about that later. But I'm looking at myself, smiling and all that. But yeah, that's my baby. I love her. But I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. All 3 of my kids were conceived outside of wedlock. I told myself, number one, I don't want any more kids. I don't. However, if I were to have another kid, I don't want to have it out of wedlock. And that's something that I have control over, you know? And there are, London Pop. There are numerous ways to prevent that from happening. This young lady chose celibacy. Celibacy. This says, I'm not a virgin, but I'm not going back into that until I'm right. Right? It's basically a U-turn. And a lot of us that have come under the hey Alana, a lot of us that have come under the study of Bishop Thompson knows he says a lot. God allows U-turns, right? So she's deciding, you know what? I'm going to make a U-turn. I'm not going to go into this next chapter in my life the same way that I went into the other 2. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself better by not just allowing things to happen. You know, can I talk around this? Can, by not allowing just things to happen with just anyone, and let this be a let this be, I guess, what am I trying to say? Let this be a note for our Christian women. Don't just accept anything. If if you won't go shopping at the grocery store while you're hungry, then this should be on the same wavelength. This should be on the same wavelength. So don't just accept anything. Don't just accept a man just because he's a male. You know, just because a person isn't a female doesn't make them a man. All right, that'll catch up to you. But she decides, okay, I'm going to be celibate, and he said he digs into her hard, relentlessly, and unforgiving. He gets into it. Was I'm 100% sure she was embarrassed, and and she had a reason to be embarrassed, because she's coming and just putting out, putting everything on the line. How you doing, Sean? Putting everything on the line, and I'm being honest with you, and I'm celibate. I'm 37. I got 2 kids, and you punch me in the mouth with that? You punch me in the mouth with that? Hey, Mama, Mother Thompson, Lady Thompson. How you doing, Dorothy Fogey? You punch me in the mouth with that, with my decision to be celibate? He says, now this is the next point that I want to bring up. When I said that one of the parts where I thought he was going, a helper comparable to him. So check this out. Check this out. Women, first of all, when someone comes to court you, make sure that they have a few of these qualifications and characteristics. Okay. When Eve was presented to Adam, Adam had a job. Adam had a place to live. Adam had his stuff together. Adam wasn't trying. He wasn't trying to. He wasn't trying to get himself together. He wasn't trying to get. He wasn't leaning on her for to do everything. He wasn't waiting for her to pay the bills. You know, Adam had a job. Adam's job was to have dominion over every living thing. He was supposed to name the creatures, uh, name anything that was named. Adam had to do it. Okay, he had a job. Adam lived in the garden. Okay, if your man doesn't have a job, I'm not saying don't stick with him, But put a pin there. Put a pin there before you just go, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. No, put a pin there. Put a pin there. If your man doesn't have his own place, if he doesn't have a job, he cannot support you. He cannot provide for you. He can't protect you. And I'm not just talking about protect you from other people. He can't even, if he doesn't have a place, he can't even protect you from the elements. And I'm 3 minutes late for another announcement. So let's put a pin there, pay some bills right quick. If you are a reader, check out these wonderful titles. First of all, we got He That Hath an Ear. You can pick up your copies of Bishop books, He That Hath an Ear, anywhere you can download ebooks. And you can also download Stair Steps to Answer Prayers at www.stairprep. Let's start over. And you can download Stair Steps to Answer Prayers at www.stairstepstoanswerprayers.com. You can also check out Manifestations. It's a book by Elaine Ragland. Manifestations. That's available for download at bookbaby.com. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. If you are a reader, get those books and support. Even if you don't read it, even if you have read those books, I was going to say something else, but even if you have read those books, go ahead and purchase another one and give them as a gift. You know, Christmas is right around the corner, so support our authors and give a book to somebody. All right, back into our topic of the day. Kevin Samuels. Again, this is not a Kevin Samuels bash. I'm just trying to arm our people with information, knowledge, things of that sort. All right. So, like I said, Adam had his own place. He had his own job. He had his place. He was able to provide and protect Eve. Okay? Second thing is, women, do not, if you're trying to find your man, that's the first thing you've done wrong. It's not your job to find a man. I know this is 2021 and women have become more, I guess, vocal and upfront. Thank you, mama. Look at my mama. Let me heart this. All right. Women have become more upfront and more vocal about what they want, but it is not your place to find a man. It is not your place to find a man. Your job is to be presentable. Whew. I told you that this is turning into Bible study. Check that out. But I can't help but preach sometimes, y'all. But check what happens when Adam finds Eve. It's because Eve has been presented to Adam, not the other way around. Adam isn't presented to Eve. Eve doesn't find her man. Eve is presented to Adam. So what you have to be is a worthy presentation. How do you prepare yourself to be a worthy presentation? It says it. I said it earlier. In Genesis, in Genesis, it says that uh, God made the woman a helper comparable to him, to Adam. You have to be, you have to be of good use. I'll say it like that. You have to be of good use to be a worthy presentation, right? So, with that being said, with that being said, no, it is not your job to find your man. It is the man's job to be godly aware when God presents the woman for his finding. The man that finds a woman finds a wife, finds a good thing, right? So that's the number one thing. Thank you, Dorothy Fogey. Just and yes, share this, share this, share this, share this. We only got about 20 minutes left, but share it, like, share, and subscribe if you're on the YouTube side and Facebook. But yeah, you have to be spiritually aware, men. We have to be spiritually aware for when God brings us our good thing, when He presents it to us. So, no, it's not your job, man, to take it upon yourself to find your woman. You use it's kind of like navigation. So and this is, oh man, this is a point that I wasn't planning on using until like next in the next few weeks. But you ever heard the phrase let God lead and guide you? Lead gives the perception that there's someone in front of you, or there's something in front of someone or something in front of you going before you, right? Guiding is kind of like navigation. So when you're in your car, you're driving to someplace that uh you're not used to going, or you're not um in a habit of going to, you don't know the way to get there. You probably might use uh Google Maps, or if you have an inferior phone, you might use Apple Maps. But the point is, you use a navigational system, right? So that is how we, as men, find our good thing, through the guidance and the leadership of God. That's how we do it. So, Kevin Samuels, no, it's not a bad idea for this woman, just because she's almost 40. It's not a bad idea for her to be celibate. And and the and the resolve is not to be just giving it away. Tupac said, even Tupac said, I don't want it if it's that easy. You know, I mean, come on, man. That I mean, this you shouldn't even want to give that kind of advice to any woman, let alone our sisters. I mean, I'm leave that right there. So she comes to him. He says, "What's the philosophy here? You're not a virgin. You got 2 kids. I'm paraphrasing. You got 2 kids, and you out your mind. So you think that just because you're a woman, I'm paraphrasing, just because you're a woman, decent looking, she was, you think that you're gonna give, I'm gonna get you a good man when y'all start talking and you tell him that he's celibate, I mean, that you're celibate, that he's gonna wait on you until you guys are married." She says, and I hope she doesn't recant on this. I hope she doesn't relent on this way of thinking. She says yes. Emphatically, she says yes. And she didn't just, I think, yeah. She said, yeah. You're gonna, and look, know your worth. Know your stock. Because the problem comes in when you don't know your worth. You don't know where you are on the stock market. You don't know where you are as value. So when someone like Kevin Samuel says, you should be just giving it, this is where you are. This is par, and this is where you are. You should be giving it away by this at this point just to secure a man. You have to know your worth and don't give any discounts. Have you ever have you ever known any of the high priced designers or things like that to have a clearance rack? No. No. Because I know what it took to make this. So you're going to pay for what I had to do. Women, you have to know what your value is. Kevin Samuels, you don't know what it took for me to get to this point. I know my worth. So I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to put it on a clearance rack. Men, this goes for us too. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. That's right, Miss Fogey. Straight talk, no chaser. If you don't know your worth, then anyone can put a price tag on your goods. Anyone can put a price tag on your goods when you don't know your worth. Gonna pay some bills right quick. We'll get right back into it. Download if you look, shameless plug. If you love good music, make sure you stop by www.gabrielmusic.com. That's GABRIAL music.com. You can get everything from the debut album. Look at me just messing up these words. Album, Minister of Music, You can also get the remixed versions. There are like 3 songs on there. Minister of Music, the remixes. Also got the second album by Gabriel, and the newly released single by Gabriel, "Glad I'm Saved," is a really good song. That is a really good song. Co-written by Levi Two King and produced by Levi Two King. Those other 3 albums were all produced by your boy Gabriel. And you know it's almost fa la 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 season. Go ahead and download the Christmas album entitled "The Bishop and Me." The Bishop and Me. You'll get some good Christmas songs on there. I think it's like 5 songs on there. So good music. If your birthday has been, if you've had a birthday between last week and this week, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Brother Stewart. Happy birthday, Rob Woody. Who else? Who else had a birthday? Well, all the November babies, happy birthday to you. Whatever age you are indeed blessed to be that age. All right, we're closing out in a minute. Yeah. So he says we're back at Kevin Samuels with his interview with this young lady. Told her she should just be giving it away. So he says, what's your philosophy? And she says, a man should wait for me. He says, I wish, and this is the part where it's funny. This is almost comical. He says, I wish somebody would come to me, almost 40 years old, and blah, 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 and tell me I ain't gonna get blah, 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 blah. At this point, you should be giving it away. So first of all, Kevin Samuels, she's not looking for you. She's looking to get advice from you on, she's trying to get the male perspective. She's trying to get the male perspective on what the issue may be. Do you think it's because I'm celibate? This is my choice, but you know, I'm willing and I'm open to hear your point of view, a male's point of view. So with that, Brother Samuels, I'd say if you're going to be a mouthpiece for men, at least be objective. She's not asking how come she doesn't have you as a man. I'm pretty sure she would have slid in your DM if that were the case. No, she wants to know the male point of view. So it's not about what you would accept or what this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. And I would think that you are intelligent enough to see that. And to see that celibacy is not her adversary. It's not the wrong thing to do. Celibacy is not a bad decision. Celibacy is not even the reason why she's single. Celibacy is not the reason why she doesn't have a man, a good man. Because there are some good men out there that practice celibacy. They're good men. So with that knowledge, are you saying that uh in order, well, I don't even have to ask that question because you said, he says, hey, Miss Davis, he says, um, with you having 2 kids and almost 40, you should be giving it away. You should be giving it away. Okay. I don't know if you're single or not, Mr. Samuels, but you look well put together. You look successful. I've seen your car. Like I said, I've seen a few videos. I'm not just picking on this one video because it's a video. I've done my work. I've done my research. Since she should just give it away, what are you giving away to secure a woman at the age that you're at? What are you giving away? Because I'm sure you'd be the first one to say, brother, if she can't take you, if she's money hungry and she's this and that, yada, 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 then you don't need her. If she can't come to the table, blah, 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 then you don't need her. So how come she can't have, how come she can't have uh, uh, a fortified stance on her sexuality? If, um, come on, man. Look, I've already told us, know our worth. Because there are people like Kevin Samuels that are willing to say, I'm not even sure if he believes this himself, but they are willing to say whatever it takes to go viral, to get followers, shock value, to get likes at the expense of anything that doesn't directly affect them. Because I'm 100% sure that he's not just giving up his livelihood. He's not just sleeping with just anybody for the sake of securing a woman. And how stupid does he sound? I mean, you just said you have 2 kids. So evidently the there's not a situation to where she's having a problem finding somebody. She's just smart enough to say, you know what? I'm done with the roller coaster. I'm ready for something stable. I'm ready for stability. I'm ready for a life. I'm ready for uh, a partner, someone to do life with, as some people say. I'm ready for that. And what I have been doing hasn't worked. What I've done up to this point hasn't worked. So if you want to get something you've never had, do something you've never done. We've heard that, right? And not to beat a dead horse, but I can't emphasize it enough. I can't emphasize it enough. Oops. I can't emphasize it enough that just giving it away isn't how you land a good man. No man that is worth having is going to want someone that anyone can have. Right, Mother Thompson? It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to try a different avenue if what you're doing isn't working. If what you're doing isn't working, try something new. So she's been doing celibacy for 2 years. And your response is give it away as the the remedy for landing a good man. Which I hope he does see this video. But Mr. Samuels, would you give would you give that advice to your daughter? Would you give that advice to your daughter? Would you let anyone give that advice to your sister? Would you let anyone give that advice to your mother? No, you probably go punch somebody in the jaw. So let's be careful, Mr. Samuels, of how and what we give as advice to people who are coming to us in with I guess as a desperate measure. I mean, because this has to be some kind of desperate measure to just go online and talk to anybody about, hey, what am I doing wrong? So let's watch how we and what advice we give to our people and people in general. Let's just be let's be mindful of what we say, not just gratuitous and just saying anything for likes and shock value and all that kind of good stuff. That's you should be above that, my man. You should be above that. How do you land a good man? You don't. You don't. It's not your job. Your job is to be presentable. Work on you. Have God work on you in this time that you don't have a man. Let God work on you in this time where you're in rebuild mode. Be a ready canvas. So that when God makes the presentation, Eve, that Adam can spot you a mile away. If you notice, and I'm done. I'm a Baptist preacher, but I'm done. But if you notice, when God made the presentation of Eve to Adam, God didn't have to say, Adam, this is Eve, your wife. Adam recognized her immediately as his helpmeet. He recognized her immediately as bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. So, men, your job is to be so in tune with God, that what he sees as your mate, you see as your mate. You don't have to, there's no question about if this is this my Eve? There's no question about it. Man, do the job that God has for you. And everybody, don't just take anybody's advice. Don't just don't just take anybody's advice. All right? All right. So, if you're ready to record your single or album, this is the last announcement for the night and we out of here. If you are ready to record your album or your single, email Incrediboy Music group at incrediboymusic, the number 2, at gmail.com for pricing and availability. That's INCREDIBOY music 2 at gmail.com. That's right, Mother Thompson. Bad advice can come from good people. Hey, what's up, Bridget? Also, if you have a business, hint, hint, Bridget, and you want us to promote your business on CrossTalk, email us at lmbc.tv.stl@gmail.com. I'm going to put that. That was so good. I'm going to put this in the lower thirds. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oops, that was the wrong one. That was so good. Let's go here. At lmbc.tv.stl@gmail.com. There it is right there. Did I spell that right? Okay, I thought it was a typo. Yeah, but lmbc.tv.stl@gmail.com. Include your business name, physical or virtual location, and tagline, and we will promote your business on our show. So tagline, if you don't know, tagline is your catchphrase or motto. You want to put that on there. Hey, what's up, Bishop? We'll have Bishop on next time. Not sure if it's going to be next week, but we'll have him on next time, and we're going to bend the ear of our bishop. I don't want to give that information away just yet, but we're going to get some really good information from Bishop Thompson. Next time he's on, we're going to bend his ear on leadership. But yeah. Yep, but I think that's all that I have. Y'all got anything on here y'all want me to say? Well, like I always say, it's all good. Great job. That must be Bishop. That must be Bishop. And me. Thank you guys for tuning in. We did it. We're about 7 minutes over, but we did it. We got through another episode of CrossTalk. Join in with us next week, where we'll have. I want to have another special guest, and I believe Minister Dukes will be on with us. But we did it this week, family. We did it. Like I always say, Till next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll see you next time, y'all. All right? Holla, how